Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fractal 101. My name is Alex. Thank you so much for watching this video. What we're talking about today, soft resetting. What is it, and how do we utilize that to get the most out of our Fractal device? Soft resetting is a tool that you will use and implement whenever there's a firmware update that alters, say, amp modeling, reverb, parameters, etc. This is a very simple but crucial step, as Cliff and the wonderful programmers at Fractal Audio Systems are constantly updating things, upgrading and enhancing our tone-making capabilities. We sometimes find ourselves in a quandary of, oh no, this doesn't sound the way it did at the last gig. What am I going to do before the next one? Or I have a recording session. Why does this tone not sound the way I want it to? This is a set of quick and effective methods to use soft resetting to go back to those tones and even enhance the ones that you previously had and get the most out of your system. Let's look at a few options and examples within our Fractal device. First up, soft resetting an individual block. Now, this is something that I have found myself utilizing very often when migrating presets between the FM3 and the AXE-FX3, as certain values are not found within the FM3 due to its lower DSP rating and CPU. We find ourselves having to accommodate, and the programmers did a wonderful job doing this. However, if you're grabbing presets from one device to the other, sometimes things are lost in translation. There isn't a one-to-one translation there. For this example, we are looking at the man-in-the-box preset I developed originally for the AXE-FX3, and we see those parameters here in the Advanced tab of our reverb. Now, when doing this, all of the tones sounded right, but something was just a little bit off. And after getting really forensic with it, I found that the reverb in particular left a little bit of a doubling effect. I sounded like I was in a tin room or an echo chamber, and I didn't know how to fix it. After some scouring, soft resetting to the rescue. So when I first integrated this from the AXE-FX3 to the FM3, it sounded like this. As you can hear, there's a little bit of that doubling effect, and not something I had initially intended. What you can do is soft reset your reverb block, and it's a very simple tactic to achieve. You select your block, in this case reverb, go to type, and select the exact same type that you were using. As you can see, the early level and late level adjusted to the FM3's default values, and it now sounds like this. The reverb sounds more like a reverb, not a doubling echo chamber effect, and we're back to square one, where we started on the AXE-FX3. Now that is soft resetting a single parameter, whether it's being through your integration between devices or whenever there's a firmware update, such as to the amp modeling system, which we are now on Cygnus X3. Sometimes they rebuild the preamp and power amp algorithm from the ground up, and things shift around. So let's see one of our other options for just updating the entire preset at the flip of a switch. Okay, so here we have the front face of our FM3. You may also find this on the FM9 or the AXE-FX3 front faces. Sometimes after you update a firmware, especially when they've redesigned the preamp or power amp modeling within that, anything with the amp and cab specifically, you're going to find you need to update your presets to sound the way they once did, or thereabouts. One way to do this very quickly and simply, go to Setup, down to Utilities, over to the preset tab, and it says upgrade all presets. Push A. This will take a little bit of time, but it's well worth it. All you have to do is hit enter. It will calculate the amount of time left. For me, having done this already this week, we have a very small window of time. Only about a minute and a half for the 512 presets on the FM3. This could take upwards of 25-30 minutes, but you'll find that all of these soft resets of every block on every preset will be made for you. Then you can go in and fine-tune things as necessary. Not only do your presets need a soft reset, but oftentimes so does your editor to keep up with all of the new updates. After you go into FractalBot and update your editor, or just opening the editor, sometimes it will notify you that you need an update. Make sure you refresh after new firmware. This can be found in Settings, Refresh after new firmware. It will now calibrate and read all of your block definitions for every block within your unit. That way you know that this is reading all of the current parameters. Some may be new, some may be subtracted or changed. You really want to keep everything on the same level so everything works efficiently. It may not be affecting the tones directly, but it will help you navigate, update, and improve your tone making capabilities. Well, that about does it for updating your firmware and soft resetting individual blocks as well as entire presets. This is an incredibly crucial step, as I mentioned, when updating your firmware on your device. If you found this useful and you enjoyed this video, there are plenty of other videos throughout the channel that you may also find useful, whether that's other Fractal 101s, tutorials of tone, gear reviews, playthroughs, and more. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time.